Vision is certainly our highest bandwidth sense. There is a tremendous amount of information that we can parse from our environment. And because of it, this is something that for a long time the field has tried to give to machines. And it is certainly a very big challenge. There are a tremendous number of things in the field of vision in many scenarios. There are many things that look similar to each other, and it is not a simple task. And let's say you wanted to implement some of the advances that have been made in this space. One of the things that you could do is that you could study the literature, you can implement some of the algorithms. And another thing that you can do as well is that you could look for some open source that has already done this. One of the popular packages is OpenCV does a tremendous job with many of the common tasks that you often want to do when it comes to analyzing and understanding an image. Now, the other thing that you could do is that you could use one of the machine vision services that are provided by cloud vendors. And here I'm showing three of them: AWS Rekognition, Microsoft Cognitive Services, and Cloud Vision API from Google. Now, they're taking advantage of the large number of images that exist on their ecosystem that have been tagged, the machine learning libraries and artificial intelligence platforms that they already have, plus the data that accompanies this and that has been created by those large user bases. And so let's go ahead and take a look at how well these services do with a couple of images. I'm going to go ahead and move to the browser. And as you can see here, I have two images. The first one is an image of myself and my wife at a dinner party. The second one is an image that I took with my phone from a police parade that was going by MIT. These are two very different images, and we're going to use these platform services without any of the context that I mentioned, without addressing any of the computational algorithms and techniques, without doing any training in some of the open source packages. We'll just simply try to give it the image and see how well it does without any preparation whatsoever. I'm going to start off first with the services, the computer vision services from Microsoft, and I'm simply going to copy and paste the address of the image I have here, and I will paste it into this field, and I will click submit. And within a few seconds, you can see that comes back. It has detected two faces, and it has a description of many of the things that it has found. It found a table, a person, it believes that it's indoor, a cup, sitting, a woman, and you can see there the number of fields, and it also gives you some sense of the confidence of what it has found. So in other words, if you can see here for a table, it believes, or it has a confidence of 99% that it is in fact looking at a table. Now let's go ahead and try the other image. And this image is just a random image that I took with my phone that I thought would be sufficiently different. And let's see how it does with this. Here is the picture on the left, and you can see there that it believes that it's outdoor, that there's a road. It believes that there's a sport, a group, some people, and a number of other fields. It doesn't do as well as with the first one, and I think it's missing a lot of what really is taking place here. Although, it is it is a challenging picture, I would argue. Now let's go ahead and try the same with the Vision API from Google. I'm going to go ahead and drag and drop, in this case, onto this field here. And we're going to go ahead and see here the feedback. I'm going to go ahead and go to the labels. You can see there that it has identified two faces. Let's see what it thinks about them. The very first item on phase 1 and on phase 2 is that both persons are pretty happy. And that's right if you look at the image. Also, if you look at the labels, there's a pretty good here capture of what is taking place. Now let's go ahead and try the police one, the police parade, and let's see if this does better than the first one we tried. You can see here that there is some joy, and if I go back it identified the faces pretty well. And if I take a look at the labels, we see crowd, we see bagpipes, we see musical instrument, we see marching, we see an event, we see a parade with still pretty good confidence. And so it has done better. Now, as you might imagine, depending on what you're trying to do, what you're trying to identify, some services are better than others. And I won't repeat the exercise with AWS, but you can see here that it claims to do very much the same thing. So with that in mind, you can see here how accessible that is on this last one, and on all of them, in fact. You can interface these services programmatically so that you can build a piece of software that on the back end communicates with these services, and you can take advantage of them to write rich applications that have a good understanding of either images that are being taken at the moment or images that is processing as part of some analysis you might be doing. Now, with that in mind, the question to you is, what would you build that is relevant to your business with these services?